Best game of the weekend so far. We do have the Vikings Rams game kicking off in Arizona
Which is
coming
not
up
technically on
here.
the weekend. So Commies Bucks was still the best game of the weekend. There
Still
you
the
go.
best game of the weekend. There you go.
You know what? You know what? I have a problem with what the NFL did. I don't know if you guys saw this or not. We called it Super Wild Card Weekend. The
They
NFL no
changed it.
longer calls it that. I believe that's why there were such shit games this weekend. They knew it was going to happen. They're like, oh, these are going to be all blowouts.
Well,
No more
also
Super
too,
Wild Card
it's
Weekend.
like even when you play the games and the teams with the best records that earn those records make the playoffs, and there's still blowouts. So for all you college football fans bitching about the first round of college football playoff, you can suck one.
It happens in the pros too,
It
guys.
happens, yeah, it happens all the time, man. It is what it is.
I still feel like you have a really shitty national champion this year in
No,
college football,
no,
bro.
these two teams are clearly the best football teams in America, without a doubt. You know how hard it
Clearly,
is to win four must-win games in a row? That is not fucking easy, dude. That is
against
not.
inferior opponents. Yeah. Whew.
Um, the first round, sure, but I mean I mean
Not the
Oregon was the
topic.
number
This is
one team
not
in
the
the
topic of
country.
the pod right now.
Anyways,
Yeah,
best
Not
game
the
of
don't
the
get me
topic.
weekend.
started,
I
Sean.
wanna
Don't
I
get me
wanna
started.
I wanna ask this because there's a lot of people on Twitter, there's a lot of people in our YouTube comments, and I have a lot of friends who are saying this. Do you blame Baker Mayfield for this loss because of the fumble?
No,
Did
I
he?
blame Todd Bowles, 100%.
Wow.
Defensive coach, you got to figure out a way to stop Jaden Daniels instead of doing the
Mhm.
same old shit every single time. It
Well,
didn't work. It does not work for you, man.
what did we say last week? You cannot let the commies be close or tied with you at
Yep.
the end of the game because some crazy shit's gonna happen, like a doink. Okay, so definitely talked about that. I think at the end of the day, though, like this is a pretty quarterback answer, but a thousand different things happen in a football game to lead you to that point. And, there's a few things that could have happened in the first half, a few things that could have happened. Because that was right at the start of the fourth quarter when he fumbled, right? Or like
Very
right at the end of
beginning
the
of the
third.
there's 12 minutes left in the game. I'm actually
Yeah. I mean,
rewatching it
there's
right
there's
now.
so much time left after that. There's so much that happened before that. Like I don't think you can pin it solely on Baker Mayfield.
Well, like the first half, it looked like Baker and the Bucks like throwing to Mike Evans was the move,
Automatic. It was
right? Like
automatic. Yeah.
why did they deviate in any way from what their game plan was in the first half? Like
We talked about that last week though too. Like teams do that, right? Teams will like randomly be like, "Oh, this is working. Let's get away from it." Or
I
like,
want to say
oh,
this because I'm not a believer in Todd Bowles. I thought he could do it. I really did. I was excited to see him as a head coach outside of New York because New York just ruins anyone, whether it's a player, a coach, or a front office staffer.
so
They
it's only his
ruin.
second year, right?
This is.
Yeah. Or is it his third?
It's his second year. He made the playoffs last year where they beat the
he
Eagles and
was
then
he
lost
was
in the second
DC
round.
when the Bucks beat us in the Super Bowl.
And he's a
Mm.
fantastic assistant coach. He is a fantastic defensive coordinator. I'm not sold on him being a head coach, regardless of making the playoffs two times in a really, really, really bad division. You are the head coach. It is your job to make sure that you follow the game script. And when the game script goes away, you follow the hot hand. Baker Mayfield makes that fumble, and there's still 12 minutes left in the game. There's plenty of time. Does it affect the game? Yes, but you're still in it. If your quarterback is throwing an 83 plus percent completion rate, why are you not going to the hot hand? Baker Mayfield at the end of the game was 15 for 18. He was 10 points off of a perfect passer rating. We have seen in the past that yes, Baker Mayfield can be the cause of your demise. It has happened. But we also know that Baker Mayfield, if he has a hot hand, there is nobody in the league that can stop him. There's not a defense out there that can stop him if he's hot.
I don't blame
And if
Todd Bowles for not knowing that he was 15 for 18 at whatever point. I mean, you got to realize that the guy's on a heater, but that's more of like a vibe. That's not necessarily like
that's your
I
if you're
doubt
the head
someone was in
coach, you
his ear
have to
like, "Hey,
know.
he's only incompleted one pass today. We should probably keep throwing." I doubt that probably happened. Maybe at halftime he saw some numbers, but
Probably no. He probably isn't getting the numbers, but it's
yeah.
also your job as a head coach to know that your guy's on a heater.
Yes,
to know
absolutely.
that the
I agree
game
with that.
script
Yeah.
needs to change,
Hmm.
that you need to go to the offensive coordinator and say, hey, I know we got Bucky. I know we got Rashad Evans,
He only attempted 18
Rashad White.
passes that game.
18
Yeah,
passes. He
that's
had under
that's
200
sad.
yards. He had no interceptions, and he was 10 points off of a perfect passer rating.
He had a
It is
classic
And
Baker
Mike
Mayfield little
Evans was
scamper too.
torching Marshawn Lattimore. Marshawn Lattimore was following him around the field, and he was getting torched.
in
Hmm.
the first half. Marshawn Lattimore covered Mike Evans 4 times, gave up 4 receptions for over 50
Only
yards
four
and a touchdown.
times. I could have swore he was like
It was
following Mike
every
Evans
play,
around that
dude.
Well,
defense.
he was
Like,
covering him, but like when the ball was thrown to him while Marshawn was covering, I believe
oh,
is what you were kind of getting
Yeah.
at, Ty Bob.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
He
Baker
gave
only threw it
he
18 times, so don't forget that.
right.
exactly
he
too.
didn't throw
Yeah,
a lot
like
of passes.
yeah.
The fumble, yeah, it's not great, but there's 12 minutes left. That is a defensive disaster class from a
Hmm.
defensive head coach who is known for being one of the better defensive coordinators in the league. And as a head coach, it is your job to make sure that the game script changes. You get the ball in the hot hand. If Bucky's hot, you run with him. But if your quarterback is hot, you let him sling that thing because also nobody is covering Mike Evans nor Kate Otten. He had two weapons that were open all game. You keep passing the ball, you probably blow out the Washington commies there. I
I
think you
was
win
also
probably
liking
by
a
two
lot of the
scores.
route combinations that Tampa Bay was giving out
Hmm.
in the first half. Like
Tampa Bay does
it
crazy shit with like eye candy and motions and guys like that.
Right.
It's so fun to watch. It is so
Their
fun to
offensive
watch.
coordinator is one of the best in the league. He's probably going to get a head coaching gig this year, and it's
Liam
really going to
Cohn
fall
will
off a
be
cliff.
hired somewhere.
Liam Cohn is going to get hired, and that offensive group is probably going to fall off a cliff a little bit if they don't bring somebody else in who's just as good. And that's going to be really hard to do. Switch over to the Washington side.
Woo!
Masterclass.
Ride the
Cool,
heater.
Jaden
calm and
Hey, just
Daniels
ride the
collected.
fucking wave if we're commies, bro.
near
Just ride
near
the
300
wave.
near 300 yards passing, still a 110 passer rating from Jaden Daniels himself. Near 100 yards rushing. They did a fantastic job. What I want to commend here is I have not seen a rookie quarterback be able to matriculate his way down a field
Yeah, manufacture a drive like that at the end of the game.
multiple times, but more specifically in the final 5 minutes. You get the ball back with 5 minutes and you don't give it up until the clock hits zero and you've won the game. Now, kicker
Shout out
almost
Hank
blew it there.
Stram.
Kicker almost blew it there. But we can talk about that. But fantastic job by Jaden Daniels and really good job by Dan Quinn trusting the offense. They had 15 different third down conversions. I think they went forward on fourth down 8 different times. 50% completion on both sides or a little bit under. And still was able to come out with a win, trusting your rookie quarterback to be able to get the job done, hold the ball for 5 minutes, and you don't give it up until the game is won. That's exactly how you play your defense when the other team has a person who can be on a heater, very much like what defenses want to do when they go against Patrick Mahomes, is take away the ball and let your offense roll with it. Dan Quinn, you're not going to see that very often from him in the playoffs.
Hey, but shout out to Jaden though. I think the one thing that makes his game better than everybody else's, at least rookies right now, is the VR headset that he uses. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but he does use the VR headset for training. He is the most cool, calm, collected rookie quarterback I have seen in a very long time. Be
Yeah,
able to
maybe
be
it's the
out
VR.
there, picture himself in there, and be able to make the play.
He's got a
Uh,
good
t-
offensive line. His running backs are good, and yet probably a lot of that preparation. It's probably a mix between the film and then trying to put himself in game scenarios. That I laugh at you, but that is probably something that
mhm.
is far overlooked of a way that somebody can really put themselves in some situations to prepare themselves for the game ahead.
To your point there, Ty Bob. The Washington Commanders were eight for
8 of 15 for
15,
third,
8 for 15 on third down and 3 for 5 on fourth down.
3 for 5.
I believe three of those third down conversions came in that last drive as well.
There
Um,
were also multiple that they had in their own half.
yeah, which is huge. Like that's how you continue. That's how you like not even that's how you start a drive. That you can't get a drive going until you convert a third down in your own
And that's
half.
that's great by Jaden Daniels. It's
Hmm.
indicative on Todd Bowles and how poorly he had that defense
Yeah,
coached up for this game.
I tell
Because
you
you
what, I
cannot
think if
let them
Bruce,
attempt that many third and fourth
yeah,
downs.
I think if Bruce Arians is in, well, they're going to attempt third downs. That's your money down. You got to win on third down. It's the fourth downs that really kill you. But honestly, if Bruce Arians is coaching this game for the Buccaneers, they probably win.
He knows that
No doubt.
he's a guy who knows that Baker Mayfield's on a hot hand and you let him sling
Exactly.
it.
Exactly. Because he was in
And
Arizona
that's
and he would ride hot streaks in Arizona until the fucking wheels fell off, dude. Like,
and maybe I'm a little bit too harsh on Todd Bowles. Maybe it's not Todd Bowles' fault. Maybe it's Liam Cohen. It's Todd Bowles needs to step up for his guys when he sees out there. And we were just very highfalutin on Liam Cohen.
mm-hmm.
That's his job. That's what he gets paid for, to know that his guy is on a heater and roll with it. Probably one of his worst coach games of his career, I would say.
And the worst possible time for it to come.
Worst.
Dude, you want to
But
hear a crazy
he's at it.
stat? You want to hear a crazy stat? The Commanders ran 69 plays and the
Nice.
Buccaneers only ran 44.
Yep. They
That
only had
is-
the
Ball control,
Bucks only
baby.
had 7 drives.
Yeah, they controlled the ball for 10 more minutes, 10 or more than 10, almost almost 11 more minutes than the Bucks. I mean, that's how you win
With a
football
rookie
game right there.
quarterback.
Yeah.
Another
No,
season like
I'm
that,
telling
Todd
you, dude.
Bowles is going to be out as a
Yeah.
head coach. I can guarantee it. Regardless of making the playoffs, you allow something like that to happen in the playoffs again.
I think he's
Probably
good.
out as
Yeah,
head
he's got
coach.
one more year. If he doesn't figure it out after next year, he's probably out. Especially if they go on like a 4-game losing streak next year or something like that. I could see
No,
them
if they
firing
if
him.
they lose Liam Cohen this offseason, they have to start all over on offense again. It's going to be shit for Todd Bowles right away because they're not going to be as productive. So he's
Probably.
going to get fired early on.
Now, you think you give him grace then? Like if
No.
your OC leaves, do you give him grace? If he stays,
No,
do
because
you give him less grace or what?
there's been so many blunders that he's made as a head coach
Yeah.
in these 2 years. And yes, again, they well outperformed what they were supposed to do last season, and they beat
Mhm.
the Eagles, a downtrodden Eagles. But as a head coach, there are a lot of things that I see that he is missing, namely, hey, I need to go and talk to this coordinator and we need to figure this out, whether it's on the offensive or defensive side, regardless if he's a defensive coach or not. There are things that a head coach needs to do that I do not see him doing to make sure that they win the game and making adjustments. And that will be the downfall of him as a head coach.
Speaking of all the games from this past weekend, can we get a recap for Pickle?
Recap from Pick'em. Ty Bob had a horrific week. We've got one game
Let's
left.
go.
And should there be
Were
something
you
in
speaking
my
in the third person, or did you mean me?
don't no,
No,
I
he
meant
said
him.
Ty
I'm
Bob.
speaking in the third
You
person.
said Ty Bob.
Yeah, I know, but like, when is
speaking
he
in the
ever
third
talking
person.
the third person?
I have done
Yeah,
it. I've
Ricky
gotten much
Henderson,
better
take
at
it
not
easy.
doing it. I've gotten better at not doing it because
Ricky
you call
have
me out
60
for it
by
every time. But I do like to refer to myself in the third person on the occasion. I had a bad week. I went so far 1-4. So far, the worst player or the worst pick'em player from this season is having the best week at 4-1. It is Tommy,
Not you, Tybo.
not you, Tybo. You
I
are
only-
having the second worst weekend.
Yeah.
Sean is having the second best. We do
fuck
have
y'all.
one game left. If the Vikings do cover the 1.5-point spread against the Rams here, this was when we picked it. Then I still go up by one game on Sean. So
I think it closed at
Doesn't
1.5
matter.
too. I'm surprised it didn't move when the venue changed. I thought for sure the line would move a little bit one way or another from a venue change, but
as of right now,
I'm
with
running
one
out
game,
of games. I think I'm out of the running now. Like,
With
I think
also
one
T's
game
and P's
remaining.
to everybody out in California.
with one game remaining, myself and Sean are tied at 153 games. We are on opposite sides of this game. Ty Bo moves to last place with 146 wins. You are well out of this, my friend. Now, you did pick the Vikings. You could pick yourself up a little bit, but my friend, you are
there aren't
probably
enough games left.
Nope.
Fans are
Um,
moving, bro.
There's what,
Tommy,
4 next week, 2 the week after that, and then just 1. Yeah, you got
I'm
you're
out.
it's we're
7.
shit out of luck there,
I'm
Tybo.
done. So
Tommy taking the Rams tonight could move himself into prime position to be in competition with a few games remaining here. Going to be slim pickings, but it is going to be close for Tommy should he be able to dive in here a little bit. But it is mainly
He's
a race
5 games
between
back right
Sean
now.
and myself. Whoever wins tonight will go up. There will be somebody who takes sole possession of first place. It will not remain a tie.
There will be
I
a one
love me
game
a
lead,
home.
and no matter what, Tommy will be down 5 still.
That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That means all I got to do is win it for the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl could be it, and that's great. That's what we want, right? That's all the way down to the very last game of the year. Like, come
Doubtful.
on. Are
Doubtful.
we
There's
all over
only
500 though?
So the first
Well
year I
over.
joined the pod, we just did money
Well,
line picks,
yes.
and I ran away with it. Okay, like that,
Well,
we
yeah.
stopped the
Money
competition
lines.
midway through the playoffs. We did not
two
go
two
to.
years in. Well, this is year 3 for Tybo, Sean, and I. 2 years into against the spread, and Tybo still barely understands it.
He's finally figuring it out.
Okay, but I'm above 500. Like, don't like
No,
lay
it's
off me.
but at the end of the
I
day,
think it's
that's what
because
really
you're
matters.
picking money line. It is what matters, but I feel like you're also just like, I want this team to win, so that's who's doing it. I don't think you
No,
understand how the
no,
spread works.
stop it. Stop. You're making me sound like a fucking dumbass. Okay.
Well, if the
Hey, we're
shoe
all
fits.
idiots here. We're all idiots here. But no, I love that we're all over 500 because if you had put $1 on every single game we've bet on every year, you would be up. You
Going
would
up.
Yep,
technically be up, which
you'd
is
be up by
at the end of the day,
probably
if we're
quite a
just
bit.
trying to beat Vegas, beating Vegas is good. So, hats off to
Which I
everybody.
honestly think like we need to
We're like
start
Mike
doing that
Tomlin over
shit.
here.
We need to start doing this shit because we've had positive records every year we've done this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and we're beating a lot of. I know there's a lot of national media guys out there, a lot of national media guys, and a
And
lot
they
of them don't
suck.
even go 500. A
No.
lot of them don't even go 500. They're below on money
Garbo.
line, let alone against the spread. So if you want to win some money, at least on the spreads here, definitely don't follow Tommy for his bad advice on our Instagram, Bob and Bo Show. He is going to lose you money every single week.
Hey, I don't know
Have any
no.
of the reels hit?
No, not a one.
There's like been one bet from a bunch of the reels that has hit. I do tell people though, make the parlay, but put a little bit of money on those
Each
individual
one.
bets so you come away with something. Don't just put all your money onto 3 picks in a parlay and just hope it hits. Like that's not
Maybe give a better
smart.
parlay, Tommy. I don't know.
That's totally fair, but I mean, if 2 of 3 hit, like I'm winning money either way. So
Bob, should he take it to the bank?
Definitely don't do that.
Mm.
Definitely don't do that.
We need
Listen,
to-
Also,
we're
we
still
need-
going to
we need
be.
to bank
that
back.
huge parlay did not get anywhere near close, Sean. That you
Nope.
sent in the group chat. No, not even.
No,
It was
Ty Bob
dead.
sent that. I just followed
That
that.
was me.
I mean,
The,
we
the
followed it,
2,
but it
2,
was
2.
literally dead within the end of the first quarter of the first game. Chargers Texans. It was over. It did
That's
not
what
hit.
taking to the bank always ended up like. So
Exactly.
No way.
That's
Like
exactly
dead on the
right.
first
Yeah.
one. I had a
I
weekend
would-
long parlay though that didn't hit either because I thought goodness gracious, not Isaiah Likely, but someone from the
Sanders?
Ravens to score. Oh no, did Isaiah Likely
You
score?
did take Isaiah Likely, and he
I
did
took
not
Isaiah
score.
Likely, but I took somebody else like later in the day, and it didn't, or the next day, and it didn't fucking hit. So yeah, I suck. It is what it is.
Well, make sure that you check out our Instagram, Bob and Bo Show. Tommy's coming out with some good content for your bets, even though they don't hit. So make sure to go there, leave a comment, let him know that his parlays are
sucks.
stupid.
Fade
Also on
Tommy.
Instagram, we're releasing some shorts from these shows, so go check out the funniest bits from there. Check out if you're on audio, check out the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, check out the audio. Get the full
Holy
show.
shit.
And check us
At-
out on Twitter.
At BOBNBO show.
It's literally on top of Tybo's head. If you're watching on video, go check it out. Bob and Bo
if you're in
Show.
audio, just listen to what he just said.
That too.
Very slowly.
Check us out towards the end of this week as we
Put it
bring
on
you the
25.
divisional round and all the games and breakdowns that'll come from that. Until next time, go Chiefs.
Go
Chiefs!
Chiefs!
They are who we thought they were.